Welcome back to another video from the Debate Room podcast. As you can tell by the title, it's time for another prospect first look. This is one of my favorite prospects in this class. He's growing to be one of my favorite prospects in this class because he reminds me of someone. We'll get to that later. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video. Liking the video does wonders for the channel. It gets it on the recommended page. Follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. That will really help us. I've been doing a lot of draft content, me and Q, this cycle. So if you like the content, check out some of the other videos and subscribe to the channel. Also, comment any other prospect you want us to go over, watch the film, get our opinion on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this intro. I want to talk about Collin Murray-Boyles. I don't like comparing draft prospects to Hall of Fame NBA players at all because it puts unrealistic expectations on that player, expectations that they probably will never reach. But when I watch Collin Murray-Boyles, it reminds me of Draymond Green, the way he's able to cover ground at his size, guard the perimeter, guard the interior. He destructs plays on defense. His IQ is out of this world. He has some of the best IQ in this entire class. He is the best defender in this entire NBA draft class. On offense, he is a great facilitator. He is great putting his back to the basket. He's a willing passer. He is great in dribble handoff situations. He's great as a screener. He's great in the short roll. He reminds me so much of Draymond Green when I watch him. It's like a splitting image. And that's why I have him as a top 10 prospect in his class, despite his lack of athleticism, despite of his lack of a jump shot. And I'm going to get straight into the film. I'm not going to waste any time. I do have to go to work in a second, so that's why I'm kind of speeding through this, but I'm going to give Collin Murray-Boyles his just due. I just put out a tweet showcasing 3 minutes of him defending at an extremely, extremely high level. So let's get into the film. All right, I got the film up, and as always, shout out Cash Iggy on YouTube. He does a great job compiling these videos. It makes it a lot easier for creators to get their hands on videos. Obviously have synergy and stuff like that, but when you need to make a video in a hurry, he is great. He's a great resource. So shout out him. I'll put his channel down in the description. But I'm gonna get into this film, and I'm gonna start off with the defense because the defense is amazing. I'm not gonna break down every video. I'll let the film speak for itself. But his activity, his IQ, his aggressiveness, his upper body strength, his hands, his discipline, all of it is just great. In this game against Clemson, he was everywhere. And I'm pretty sure he had like 4 fouls in this game as well. And he played the second half and OT, I believe, without fouling. This is one of the best plays I've seen him do all year. He's in help right here. He look at his activity all around the court. He made his impact is felt all around the court. He completely shut it down the whole play. And it's muscle he's defending right now, 30 feet away from the basket. Blitz the ball handler, disrupt the play, gets back into play. And I'm pretty sure he had 3 or 4 fouls on this play as well. So his ability to not foul is amazing. Look at him. He's a menace. Like, he's a maniac on defense. You can't tell me this is going to remind you of Draymond Green. Look how physical he's been. Look how good his hands are. Look how he's like swallowing the defender up. That sounds crazy, I know, but you know what I mean. He's just elite, man. You don't see it blowing up throws. I think he has a really, really high steal and block rate. Let me actually check that real quick. He has a 3.0 steal percentage and a 4.8 block percentage. Aston one, that's 6'7", 240. This Auburn game, he wrecked the game defensively and offensively. He gave Janai Broome the business. I'm not gonna lie. Like, from what I could see, he really stopped him on defense. I looked at that great contest. On offense, he gave him the business as well, which we'll get to as well. But his IQ and defense awareness and physicality as a defender is almost second to none. I can't really remember a defender that I've watched that's as smart as him. Maybe Chet. Victor is really good as well, and obviously Evan Mobley. But the fact that he's doing it at this size is just special. I really think that if he's given the opportunity to stay on the floor and be an impactful player, he can be a defensive like DPOY level defender. It's going to determine. It's going to based on like how well he can guard like centers, like bigger centers. But because of his IQ and hands and upper body strength, I think he really will be able to do it. And I think he's going to get even stronger as he gets to the league. Like most players do that. Look at how he defended Austin Newell on that play, getting on the ground. His motor is amazing. I could talk for 30 minutes about how good CMB's defense is, but again, I'll let the film do a lot of the work for me. I do think we're coming to a close on the film. I think I have about 3 minutes left, but he did a great job on Austin Well. Austin got some buckets on him, which I'll talk about Austin in a later video. But the way he defends is crazy. I do think he's the best defender in the draft class. I know some people will say it's Cooper Flag, but Cooper is more so of a help side, like POA defender, and I think he's like I think Collin is much more of like an anchor, and that's a more valuable skill set. I do wish he was like, come on, bro, look at that play. That's ridiculous. The ground coverage, the spatial awareness, contest shots without fouling, it's insane. I do think he's the best defender in this draft class because of his ability to protect the rim at a high level and actually anchor a defense, which I think Flag won't be able to do that as at the capacity he is. He's also pretty good on the perimeter and switching with guards as well. Offensively, let's talk about his offense. He's a really, really, really good post scorer. That's how he gets most of his buckets. This year, he's averaging 15.6 points per game, 8.7 rebounds. We'll talk about the rebounding later. On 61.4 true shooting. And this year, he scaled up because this South Carolina team is much worse than it was last year. The guard play is much worse than it was last year. He's had a bigger role, and with that bigger role, he's increased his points while maintaining elite level efficiency, averaging 2.5 assists. Shooting 58.1% from the field. But his post game is elite right now. He's at 1.038 points per possession on post ups. That's in the 79th percentile. A really, really high volume post scorer because he's not only strong, but he has a skill and a technique to he's like overpower defenders and uses. Um, he has like a very deceptive way of using leverage to beat defenders in a post. Well, that's on defense and offense as well, like guard defenders. But here he scores on Jani Broome. His touch is really good as well around the rim. He's like really good on like hooks and floaters and all that type of stuff. He's really good with that. He's doing it against NBA size like Jani Broome and I forgot the other dude's name from Auburn. These are really big centers he's going against, where like the type of defenders he'll be facing in the NBA. So I do think this post game is going to be able to translate in some capacity. I don't know exactly how much reps he's going to be able to get in the NBA as a post scorer. I don't know. It depends on what team he is drafted to. But I look at someone like Demontis Sabonis, who is obviously I think inches taller than Collin and obviously a lot stronger. But I look at someone like a Collin Murray-Boyles, where offensively, like as a dribble handoff partner and a short roll partner, it can look exactly like that. And on top of his post ups, he's been a very, very good driver this year. And that's like a part of his game. His handle. Like, look at this play. This is like wow. Like this is wow. Like wow. Look at that. He's a really good driver as well. Putting the ball on the floor, his handle is pretty good for his size, his speed, and agility is pretty good as well. He doesn't make buckets on all these plays, but I just like the reps, the way he's able to drive. He again, we're giving Jani Broome the business, like the best player in the country, business. We're scoring to him damn near at will. So look at that. Like this is a great play on Jani Broome. Really talented driver, really good driver. Really good at taking angles as well. And his handle is growing exponentially. So it makes him a high level prospect because he has the ability to scale up. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it at the NBA level. I want to see, but part of me feel like he can. I just don't know if a team is going to reward him that possibility. And I'll talk more about that later. Dribble drive on Alex Condon, who's a very good defender as well. He's doing it against very good defenders. These are not just 6'4", 6'5" guys. That was a good job as well. So The driving is really good. It's really good. And it's something I didn't even know until I really sat down and watched this film, how good of a driver, how good of a ball handler he is, for his size and position. It's really good. Okay, and then let's talk about his passing. Very, very good passing big. And this is why I compare him to Draymond Green because of how well he's able to pass out the post. He's a really good passing out the post. He's very good passing in his foot roll. He's passing off dribble handoffs. I don't really think like South Carolina uses him best. He also doesn't have the best guard play to maximize his dribble handoffs, foot roll ability. But his vision and processing is really good. Does turn the ball over quite a bit, but again, he's not that talented of a team. And the turnovers, which I will go over later, aren't like processing errors. They're more so just like products of him having the ball so much now. But look, he's really good at hitting back doors and hitting teammates in the floor of their offense as well. It's really a really special passing prospect from Collin Murray-Boyles. I don't know if him or Derek Quinn. I'll probably go to Derek Quinn as far as passing, but he's a really good passer in his own right. It's a few good passers in this draft class from big man. It's actually a good passing big draft. But yeah, they're not the flashiest and most advanced reads, but as well, I talked about earlier about him being able to like operate in the short roll, and he's a really good roller. If he had better guard play, you will see him more. But he's a really good screener, really good in short roll, making decisions. Like you'll see there, great decision out the pick and roll. He like consistently makes good decisions out of pick and roll and just frees up his man with these screens. That's a really good pick and roll rep right there. But he gets in the short roll, patience for the dunk, really good short roll decision maker. And he's gonna be able to maximize this on a better team in the NBA with better coaching and stuff like that. Like, there's no way you watch this and you don't see like this could be a role for him in the NBA. Really, really good roller. I think they have him as a role man. I think uh, I think Energy has him at 87 percentile. Yeah, 87 percentile as a role man. 1.09 points per possession as a role man. So that's pretty good. And this is his offensive rebounding that's on the screen right now. Really, really good rebounder in totality, but I didn't really want to show too many defensive rebounds. But his motor and effort on the end and his positioning is really good as an offensive rebounder. Can be able to create a lot of possessions for his team. I think he's also a little bit more athletic than he's given credit for. He has 22 dunks on the season. Not the best at all, but because of his offensive rebound ability, I think the amount of dunks he has on the season, I think he's pretty underrated rated as an athlete. The biggest concerns. So I talked about a lot of the great stuff with CMB defense, offensive rebounding, short roll, passing out the post, post scoring, a lot of stuff offensively, driving, his handle. The things he needs to get better at is 3-point shooting. Very low number of attempts. I think he's at 1.9 3-point attempts per 100 possession. I think he has 7 makes on a year. A lot of these are like shots that are just falling short. They're hitting like the front of the rim, as you see. Um, don't necessarily know the fix for this, but he is taking them though. He is taking them a lot more than he did last year. He had I think 0 attempts last year. So this is something he needs to improve on to maximize his play at the NBA level. Uh, but yeah, really not a great shooter at all. His free throw percentage is at like 66% as well. So it's not like his touch outside closer to the rim is not the best, but because he's so his touch is so great outside the rim, it does leave a little bit of hope. I think if you're drafting CMB, you're not expecting him to be a shooter. I don't think you should be expecting CMB to be a shooter on the next level. Draft him because you like the player that he is now, and then maybe you can make him a better shooter as his career goes on, similar to like a Demontis Sabonis now, who has been a pretty good spacer this season. Here are some of the turnovers he had this season. As you see, a lot of these are not processing errors. I guess that's a processing error, but a lot of it is just like um, him getting blitz or errant pass or like um, the teammate dropping the ball. But I'm not really concerned about these turnovers at all. I think it's just a product of um, him having the ball in his hands more naturally. You get more turnovers. That's all the film I have for CMB, and I cannot stress this enough how great of a prospect he is. I do think he is a bit situation dependent. I want to see him end up in a really good situation for his skill set. I would love to see him in. I think the Spurs would be an amazing spot. Put him next to the four with Wemby and have him as the rim protector and let Wemby roam around and be a help side rim protector. That's going to unlock his defense even more than they already is. And Wemby can space the floor, so his lack of ability to space the floor wouldn't be an issue. I know they got Jeremy Sochan, but Jeremy Sochan is still not great offensively. I think that CMB would be a better offensive player than Jeremy Sochan. Sohan. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing his name. But I like possibly OKC for the same reason with Chet. I like the Spurs, like I said already. There's a few spots I think that CMB works well, but I do think his his reliance on situation is a little bit overblown. He is a bit situation dependent, but I think he can be a good player anywhere he go. Because I think someone like Draymond Green, which I keep referencing him, Draymond would have been an amazing player in a lot of situations. He just was maximized with two of the best shooters in NBA history. You definitely want some shooting around CMB though, some playmaking around CMB. But he is in my top 10. I don't know exactly where he's going to end up at the end of the year. I think I have him around 8 right now. Hell of a prospect. Really falling in love with his defense right now, his overall game. As I watch him more, I get more impressed. Like some of those defensive plays, I'm just like, wow. Like, wow. If you want to see my post on it, go follow me on Twitter at Latif NBA is right there. But that's going to do it for CMB. I actually got to head to work, but hell of a prospect, hell of a player. I hope a team is smart and drafts him really high. So that's going to do it for this prospects first look. Thank you guys for tuning in. Follow the channel, like the video, and follow us on our social media platforms up at the top of the screen. And I am out.